It happened last winter, during one of those long, quiet nights when the world outside feels completely still. I was home alone. My parents had gone to visit my aunt 2 towns over and weren't coming back until morning. It had just snowed that evening, thick, heavy flakes that muffled every sound outside. I remember sitting in the living room around 11 p.m., scrolling through my phone, half watching some random YouTube video. The only lights on were from the TV and the small lamp by the couch. The rest of the house was dark. Then I heard it, a light, deliberate tap, tap, tap on the front window. At first, I thought it was ice or a branch, but when I looked toward the window, I realized the nearest tree was several feet away. I muted the TV. Silence. Then again. Tap, tap, tap. It was rhythmic, patient, almost like someone was doing it on purpose. I froze for a good 10 seconds, trying to convince myself it was nothing, but my curiosity got the better of me. I slowly got up, grabbed my phone's flashlight, and crept toward the window. The blinds were shut. I hesitated, then gently lifted one of the slats to peek outside. At first, all I saw was the reflection of my own face. Then, a movement. Something dark shifting near the porch railing. My heart jumped. Someone was standing out there. He was barely visible in the dim porch light, wearing a hood, hands in pockets, head slightly tilted toward the window, like he was listening. I backed away instantly, heart pounding so hard it made my vision blur. I didn't want to scream. I didn't want him to know I saw him. I ran upstairs quietly, grabbed my phone, and called the police. As I whispered my address, I heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Only this time, it wasn't coming from the living room window. It was coming from upstairs, from the window in the hallway. The dispatcher stayed on the line, telling me to stay hidden until the officers arrived. I locked myself in the bathroom, sitting in the tub with the lights off, phone clutched tight. I could hear the faint sound of snow crunching outside, slow footsteps circling the house. By the time the cops arrived, the footsteps had stopped. They searched the yard, the porch, even checked for footprints. There were some leading from the street to my front window, and then around the side of the house. But here's the part that still keeps me awake sometimes. The officer said the prints stopped halfway through the side yard, like whoever was out there just vanished. This one was sent to me by a woman named Claire, who said she'll never look at her house the same way again. It happened about 3 years ago. Claire was home alone with her 1-year-old daughter, Emily. Her husband worked night shifts at a hospital, so she was used to being alone at night. It was late, a little after midnight, and Claire was lying in bed watching TV with the baby monitor beside her. She started dozing off when she heard it, a faint voice coming through the monitor. At first she assumed it was interference, maybe a neighbor's radio. But then she realized the voice was inside her daughter's room. It was a low, gravelly male voice, and it said clear as day, "Shh, don't wake Mommy." Claire's body went cold. She shot up in bed, staring at the monitor, her hands shaking so hard she nearly dropped it. Then she heard a small sound, her baby cooing softly, and the voice whispered again, "There you go, good girl." Claire leapt out of bed, grabbed the nearest object, a heavy flashlight, and ran to her daughter's room. The door was half open, and the nightlight cast a dim orange glow inside. No one was there. Her daughter was lying in the crib, eyes wide open, staring at the closet. Claire slowly approached and checked the room, then the closet. Nothing. No one. She locked the door and went back to the monitor. And that's when she noticed something she hadn't before. The little red light on the monitor camera was flashing. Someone had hacked it. She unplugged it immediately and threw it in the trash. A week later, when she told the police, they said it wasn't the first time they'd heard something like that. People hacking into Wi-Fi baby monitors just to spy, or worse. But here's the detail that still unsettles her to this day. She later checked the footage stored on her phone. The camera had recorded something just before she unplugged it. It was a man's whisper, low and distorted. "She's so much quieter when you're asleep." This happened to a guy named Derek, who lived alone in a small rental house on the edge of town. It was one of those older homes with creaky floors and a basement that always felt colder than it should. It was late October, around 1 a.m., and Derek was working from home. He had a habit of staying up late, listening to music while typing away on his laptop. That night, the house felt unusually still, the kind of silence where even your breathing sounds too loud. He went to grab a drink from the kitchen when he noticed something strange. The basement door was open, just slightly, enough to see the dark stairway leading down. He was sure he'd closed it earlier. He always did. He stared at the open door for a long second, trying to remember if maybe he'd gone down there that day. But no, he hadn't been in the basement for weeks. He took a few slow steps forward, leaned over the railing, and called out, "Hello?" Nothing. He closed the door, locked it, and went back to his desk. But the moment he sat down, he heard it. A faint creaking sound, like a footstep on wood, coming from below. His whole body froze. Then came another creak, creak, creak. Derek grabbed a kitchen knife and turned off his music. He stood there, holding his breath, listening. The footsteps were slow, deliberate, coming closer until they reached the top of the stairs. The doorknob rattled. That was enough. He ran outside, got in his car, and called the police. When they arrived and searched the house, they found signs that someone had been living down there. An old blanket, food wrappers, and a phone charger plugged into an outlet. But the most disturbing thing wasn't that someone had been staying in his basement. It was what they found near the corner. A Polaroid photo. A photo of Derek, asleep, in his bed. And those were 3 creepy true encounters while home alone at night. It's strange. We think of our homes as safe, as the one place where nothing can reach us. But sometimes, the walls we trust most are the ones that hide the things watching us. Which story scared you the most? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more true horror stories told in the dark. Sleep tight, and check your locks tonight.